keyboard player for Shearwater, and I was the musical director for our Bowie's Berlin Trilogy. I thought it'd be really fun to make a YouTube series showing how we dissected the songs in the trilogy. Because without scores, we had to listen to the songs and kind of try to reverse engineer the songs by ear, basically, unpacking them as we kind of delved deeper and deeper into them. The first song that I think we should tackle is Subterraneans, which is the last song on Low, and it's the one you're listening to right now. Each song in the trilogy, especially the instrumental, seems to have like a key that we had to search for to unlock the mystery behind it. And it seems like the mystery behind Subterraneans is definitely its bass line. So there are two main things that make Subterraneans Subterraneans, and basically it's the structure and the feel. I'm going to try not to get too technical, but the structure revolves around this bass figure that's metrically strange. It has two different phrases, and they're both weird to count. So the first phrase is a measure of 2, a measure of 3, and a measure of 7. And then the second one is a measure of 3, a measure of 4, and a measure of 7. And basically these two phrases cycle and just repeat over and over and over again throughout the whole song. And I'll play for you what that is. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that repeats the entire song. I'll play it in context now. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We didn't want any sequenced sounds in the whole trilogy. We basically wanted all of the sounds to be coming from the stage live. And so this posed a problem because since this bass line is something that every other part hangs on, how are we going to have this very strange part be so consistent that we all attach to it, especially since we did not have a conductor for this piece. And so we decided that Sadie could play it on the Minilog synth and then have a metronome in her ear, and she, like a trooper, tuned out everything else and played just that line continuously throughout the whole piece until I think it was until I cued her that this was kind of the time to fade out. The second thing about the structure of the piece is that there's this melody line that gets passed around, I think in 5 sections. There's the synth section, there's the guitar section, there's a guitar and vocal section, there is a sax section, and then there's this vocal breakdown kind of apex thing, and then the melody returns in the end and it gets kind of mushy and dissolves away. So this is the melody. So after the structure, the feel is the second part in what makes Subterraneans sound like Subterraneans. Our issue with all the other parts was that our ensemble was made of musicians with many different skill levels in how they could read music. So we had to figure out how we were going to communicate with each other in a way that was okay for the instrumental pieces. Like, how are we going to stay together as an ensemble if not everyone could read music and we didn't have a conductor. So I wound up transcribing the parts that I thought were most important to the song and putting them in a score. And then the musicians themselves could take those parts and then extrapolate upon them. The next part I want to talk about are the arp strings, and I'll play it again. So you can hear them swelling in here with the bass. Now if you listen to the whole piece, you'll see that the arp string line is totally improvised. It really feels like just a stream of consciousness laying on top of the whole thing. But it really gives the piece this form of like ups and downs and layers and fullness that I really think is really important to the piece. And so when I was listening to it, I thought, this is one of those elements that even though it was improvised, that it should go in as is. So I transcribed this string part note for note and put that in the score, and that was the part that I played. And then there were other parts that, there are other parts in the piece that are not as important to be played exactly as is. And those parts are, like one example of a part like that is the part that Jonathan plays. And I'm actually gonna switch to our version so you can hear what that sounds like. Jonathan played a reverse road sound using a pedal and the Nord, like a road sound on the Nord. And you can hear it here. It's this beautiful crystalline kind of sound. And he took parts that were in the original Subterraneans. He kind of gave himself license to play those parts in a more or less random way, kind of as they fit in to the general sound. And I mean, I think he threw in a few extras as well. Basically, how we decided to put together Subterraneans was a combination of some musicians playing concrete structural elements as is to define the piece itself, and then some instrumentalists playing parts that were originally improvised, but the improvisation was written out and stretched out along the whole thing, and then some instrumentalists actually improvising. And I feel like this gives our interpretation of the piece a structural grounding with that same discovery feel that is in the original. The kind of moment for moment, you don't actually know what's gonna happen next, this very fluid sound. I hope you liked the first episode in our series, The Making of the Bowie's Berlin Trilogy. Leave a comment or question below and I'll try to answer anything. And if you have a song from the trilogy that you especially want to know about or have a question about, let me know and I'll try to do it in a future episode. So thanks so much.